Hey y'all, this is your girl Jamie here. What is going on, J Squad? How are y'all doing? I hope y'all are having a straight up blessed day. And if y'all are new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and welcome. And if y'all like this video, y'all know what to do. Just go ahead and smash the like button. Now we are going to be talking about only the greatest, band ever, the Beatles, and why they broke up, y'all. And if you don't know about the Beatles, I'm your girl. I am the biggest Beatles fan. I swear on it. I might have not have been alive back in that era, but in my mind and in my soul, I think I was there. It would have been so cool to be back in the Beatles era, just because there were so many great bands and, performers then. And I don't know, like just the whole era of like the 60s and 70s and, the whole time frame back then would have been like the coolest time to have been like 18, 19, 20 some in my mind. I don't know. At least I know everything would have been a lot cheaper back then than what it is today. But let's just go ahead and jump right on into this. If y'all don't know, I'm here to tell you. The Beatles, let's break it down. When they broke up, it was a moment that, is going down in music history. And these four musicians, the Beatles, they're from Liverpool, the UK. So they were from England, and just something about their accents over there. Like, they have the best accents from England, And me and my one daughter, we always act like we have British accents all the time. It's just a thing with us. But so in our minds, we think, anyways, that's a whole nother day and a whole nother video. But they were only the biggest band the world has ever seen until everything ended. And they were a big thing for years, and fans have discussed, exactly like what happened, wondering whether it was the pressure of the fame of, the group disagreements, or even John Lennon's wife, Yoko Ono, behind some of the split. Well, in my opinion, I think between John Lennon's wife and just John Lennon himself, every boy band, as we have seen, like, from there on forward, and even back then, since the beginning of time, probably, there's always that one who thinks if, they're the bigger, the better of the group, and if they just go solo, they're gonna make like such a killing. Kind of like Beyonce, even the girl groups. Beyonce did it with, Destiny's Child, which she did blow up. Justin Timberlake, I forget which little boy thing he was in, but, y'all know what I'm talking about. There's always just that one. And I could see, like, back then, because they played their own instruments, which nowadays, we haven't seen, really anybody that plays like actual instruments. Alicia Keys, does piano real well. And the other little boy, I'm trying to think of his name, John Legend. They got the voice and some of the talent, but nothing compares to like the people, that came before them, obviously. Like Prince, they say he played like every instrument there ever was. Like, we don't have like great performers. And when I say performers, I mean like talent-wise. They can have the most beautiful voice, like Adele, but can Adele play like every instrument like Prince could? You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about. But all the rumors have always been going around, But let's go ahead and I'm getting off the topic, y'all, with my opinion here. But that's what I'm here for. I have my own opinion when it comes to celebrities, and especially music. And keep in mind, I do talk a lot of trash about Kim Kardashian, but like I said, that's a whole nother video. But, the band members have also given their views over the years, including, of course, Paul McCartney, who has opened up a number of times about what happened. So, back in October of 21, Paul McCartney said that the first person to announce that they wanted out of the group was John Lennon. Now, it says, speaking in a candid interview with BBC Radio 4, McCartney also alluded to his own legal battle with his former band members, which has been named as another nail in the Beatles' coffin. Woo, y'all. That's I always thought it was just John Lennon that basically just wanted out. And I always kind of thought maybe there was a tiff between him and John Lennon and Paul. Maybe like, the two egos coming together. You know how men get with, beating on their chest. Like, I'm the bigger, the better singer. Hear me roar. But Paul McCartney said that I had to fight, and the only way I could fight was in suing the other Beatles. Ooh. Because they were going with Klein. And they thanked me for it years later. Ooh, I did not know some of this, y'all. But he said I didn't instigate the split. That was our Johnny coming in one day and saying, I'm leaving the group. See, I think maybe, it was kind of his wife, like, look, Johnny, oh, you're the biggest Beatle. You should leave them, and you could make so much more money over here and be more famous. Okay, but the Beatles themselves, they, have came out many times and said about, like, they wasn't like the sexy groups like the Rolling Stones and, some of the other ones that were, a little more out there with, their sexuality. They just feel like they wasn't very sexy. And that women, the girls wouldn't come to the recording studio because of it. Like, they just never felt like they had a ton of fans, but they was just never, like the Rolling Stones, basically. I'm trying to think of other bands that were out during that era, but so anyways, before there was talk of a split, the Beatle members had basically grown tired of touring due to the, relentless excitement of all the fans, the fame of the Beatle mania. Yes, I'm still one of those big fans, even though I'm a little late in the game. But so all the screaming fans throughout, all the group performances they did, until the noise was so loud that the musicians could not even hear themselves playing sometimes on stage, guys. And I just know from like some of the videos and stories I've been told growing up and stuff from my own family, about their fans, meaning all the women, that these fans would, go out of their way. Like, I remember hearing a story about when they were up at the Plaza Hotel up in Manhattan, guys, yes, that some of the females would try to get in through some of the side doors and the back doors, through the kitchens, yada, yada, yada. And if you guys have ever been into the Plaza it's easy to get in there, even now. I mean, you can roam through there and no one even see you. I mean, nobody pays no mind. But so and the girls trying to get up to like their suit and stuff, like the penthouse area, like where they were staying and stuff, and try to get in and like banging on the doors and all the craziness of obviously the Beatles. So, but nonetheless, Ringo Starr, he came out saying that a lot of it all just came to, them wanting to retire from the live performance altogether back in '66. And he just says that he never felt like people came to hear their show. He says he felt like they came to see us. Their last live show was in London in 1969, though. And, the Beatles, it was their final paid concert, So they just, after that, they just never did any live shows together, guys. And it's so sad, but because these guys made some of the greatest songs ever, especially one of my favorites, Let It Be. And of course the Yellow Submarine, y'all, and Strawberry, Fields. I just, yeah, like I could go on and on, because I don't even think I have one favorite, because they're all so great. Like I just keep sitting here thinking like all of them, and it's just like, okay, they're all my favorite. But even the arguments with these guys for Let It Be, actually, one of the most famous sessions that they had, recording sessions with the Beatle history, was for Let It Be, where George Harrison almost left the group. Just like these guys couldn't get it together. And I guess as they got older, they kind of grew apart. They wanted to do their own stuff. And even George Harrison said about this whole era of when, because they were, doing the Let It Be record, the album, and filming, a thing called Get Back, which was released in 1970. But he just says about, he almost walked out of the filming after the crew recorded the band having a heated exchange. So, I mean, I think it was just a little bit, it's just like one of them toxic relationships with somebody that you just know for quite a while. Like, it keeps building up, all just the crud of that person and what's going on between your all's relationship, and it just builds up and builds up and builds up to finally, it's like everybody gets to that point, like, we got to go our separate ways. I think that might have happened with, like, I don't think it's just one particular thing, but I still want to blame it on, his wife. So, I don't know. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below of your opinions of why the Beatles broke up. And I will talk to y'all in my next video, guys. Have a great one. Bye.